Oh, yes, it finally happened. And I'm talking about crushing a workout. Well, sort of crushing a workout. I kind of got crushed too by it. But uh, after coming off a couple of days rest, kind of let my back heal up a little bit, get some fuel back in me. Probably log those push-ups up out just a little bit better. Excuse me. But I felt pretty solid about this workout today. Actually, I'm more than solid. I'm pretty pleased with it. For one, because I added a new skill into this 30-day deal that I'm doing that I haven't done yet. You'll see here in a second. But also because I was able to not push a pace, but keep a pace for the most part, and it worked out for me. I didn't no small little pains, none of that. Just felt good. So I'm happy. Here's what we got: 30-minute AMRAP, 25 hand release push-ups, 15 cows on the row, a 1 minute front plank, and here we go, a 10-foot handstand walk. If you cannot do the handstand walk, I recommend doing a 20-foot strict bear crawl. Um, it's really, I mean, for I just incorporated that just to try to add another movement to it, to the AMRAP. But if you want to work on handstand mobility and handstand stability, instead of maybe doing a bear crawl, you can do like a 30-second wall or a handstand hold on the wall, something like that, just to kind of get yourself used to being in that position. Um, but yeah, I'm on my first round here. Uh, the hand release push ups, they're pretty self explanatory. Just go, hands come off the ground, maybe like, I don't know, 4 or 5 inches, and you push yourself up. Be sure to come all the way to a lockout, though. Don't be like this guy in this video. This front plank, here you go. Elbows on the ground. Do your best to keep your butt out of the air. You're not showing that thing off to anybody. Nobody's looking. Nobody cares. Ooh, look at your boy's forearm to tricep right there. Ooh, boy, it look right. Um, but yeah, try to board this thing out the best you can. Try to be as flat as you can. It's okay to kind of let your hips sink a little bit, but just don't let everything go to the ground. If I was working with somebody, or if I had a little bit more time to spare, I would say every time your knee hit the ground, uh, you would add 10 seconds to this. But I guess I'm just not that hard on myself. Yeah. Anyways, kind of awkward when people walk into the frame. I feel bad. I really do though, because I'm always in the way. I feel like I'm always in the way of everything that everybody else has going on. But anyways, 1 minute plank, knock this thing out, then a 10-foot handstand walk. You can my 10 feet is from where the turf starts, the light green turf, to where it splits from the light green to the dark green. And you can see it kind of down there closer to the wall. When both hands cross into the dark green, that's when you've gone 10 feet. So that was just my way of measuring it. I had a little tool also to kind of verify that. My first time doing a handstand walk in probably, shoot, 6 years maybe. I mean, kind of the same thing with a lot of these other movements. I was just pleased to see I could still do it. Now, really, I said that, I just added this just to kind of give an extra movement. That's one round, by the way. Um, but listen, guys, when a 4-year-old challenges you to doing handstand walks, when she comes up to you and says, Daddy, can you do handstand walks? And you say, Yeah, of course. And she goes, uh, all right then. You about to see what gene pool you come from, little girl. So yeah, when a 4-year-old challenges you to handstand walks because she's got, a month of gymnastics under her belt, you don't say no. You rise to the occasion. You show that little critter what's up. So yeah, I get to show her this. She's got a long way to go. But on the flip side though, y'all y'all got kids. I don't mention mine very often on here, if ever. I really don't talk about my family very much on here. I mean that's for professional and you just for just reasons I feel like that had to be discussed. But you know I'm so proud of my kids. I really am. I'm proud of my family. I'm proud of just all the things we've gone through over the years. My kids are so freaking tough, man, and they're so awesome. Like I know this is supposed to be about the workout, but I mean, it's my platform. I can talk about my kids if I want to. So, my son is just the biggest goofball, and he's a light to the world. Always got a smile on his face. unless he's hungry or poopy. But even if he's poopy, he'll let you know. But my daughter is just like, she's just a little ball of energy, you know, and inspiration. And of course, when she comes to me and says, "Bet you can't do handstand walks," you're gonna learn today. So, anyways, yeah, love my family. Awesome, awesome group of people, man. I wouldn't be where I'm at without them. I really wouldn't be. But yeah, this is my third round right here. I want to talk about the rows real quick and the difference between doing distance on rows and doing calories on rows. If you're rowing for distance, it's important to keep a good pace. Like I've mentioned before in previous videos, I like to go one pull every 10 meters. I try to kind of stick to that a little bit when rowing for calories. However, calories, it's more about the power of your pull. How much energy can you exert into one pull? So, I'm trying to gain as much distance as I can with every single pull. If you're a really tall person, well, taller than me, I'm 5'6". But if you're a taller person, one pull per calorie is, more than doable. If you're a shorter cat like myself, 1 to 2 is probably the way to go. You'll gain ground in some of the other movements because we're shorter and stubbier. So that's not something to fret too much about. But yeah, rowing for calories is more about just the drive that you have whenever you pull. It's very similar to a clean. You're going to drive from the middle of your foot to the ball or to the heel of your foot, and and then the pull is very similar to that of a high pull. So try to get as much ground as you can on that. Notice here, that's about as flat as I'm going to get. My hips might be dropping a little bit too much there. And I'm not going to say this was like the most comfortable position for me to be in, but it was. I'd rather be in this position right here than have my butt stuck up in the air. It's like a dog trying to get his behind scratched. I don't want nobody scratching my rear during this. It might feel good for a second, but then I'd just be like, "Oh, what are you doing? Get away!" So, yeah, gonna go do this third round of handstand walks. Again, I'm pretty pleased with the handstand walks too. Again, I haven't done these in a while. I really don't have a lot of good advice. Sounds terrible for handstand walks. That's really because I have no idea what I'm doing here. This is really more like I've just always kind of been able to do it. So, and I mean, I got, I guess, solid shoulders, but my experience with handstand walks is you see a lot of people fold their legs over, like when they get in the handstand position, their knees bend at like a 90-degree angle to where their feet are like dangling over their head. That's not really me. I don't think I've ever done that. I've never known myself to do that. I kind of keep my feet up at, just pretty much sticking straight up. I've just found that gives me a little bit more core stability. And if my core is stable, then I'm able to, stay in that position. Um, and then I just move my hands. I know this is terrible advice because like if I was to try to teach this to somebody, I'd be like, bruh, you're kind of out of luck here. Just go get on the wall and just get in the handstand position and fill it out. That's terrible. But also here's another. If you're trying to walk in a handstand walk, like you're trying to get momentum, like you can't seem to go forward. I've learned that you know you're supposed to have a gait when you do handstand walks, just like when you walk on your feet. Your gait is when your arms are walking or moving in motion with your legs. So if your right foot moves, your left arm goes forward. If your left foot goes forward, your right arm goes forward. That's kind of the same case when you're doing a handstand walk too. So I've learned if I stall while I'm trying to walk, uh, I just kind of move my feet, and like I'm swimming, and that'll kind of get me going too. Um, Also, I turn my fingers out when I'm in a handstand position, and that'll kind of give me some like forward lean a little bit too. I'm able to push off my palms. So I'm sorry that I don't have a better description of how to do a handstand walk. I've just, I don't know. Like I learned how to do it one day because this is back in like 2016. I mean, I've always kind of been able to do it, but doing it in a workout, I remember I just did like, uh, I was doing handstand push-ups with a handstand walk. Like I did it on the length of a ladder, and that way I could like track my progress. So like if I fail at a certain like spot, I can mark it and try to like continue my try to go further the next time. And eventually I got to where I was just doing the whole length of the ladder, and that's just kind of how I learned how to do it. Um, it's not flashy, it's not anything special. It's just kind of how I learned. So hard knocks, baby. So we're about to speed the video up just a little bit too. I think I'm on my 4th round here. That's what happens when you ramble a lot. But the video is about to speed up a little bit, and then I'll kind of hit on some things these last couple rounds. But yeah, I'm about to walk super fast on my hands. Here we go. I think my 5th round of my handstand walks might have been my best round, 5th or 6th round. I ended up getting, and this really stinks too, because like my goal was to get seven rounds total, but I like right there, you can kind of see like my legs dangling over the back of my head a little bit, but my legs are still kind of straight. They're just bowed at the hips. Um, yeah, my goal here was to get 7 rounds total. I got 6 plus 25 push-ups, 15 cows, plus 1 minute. So I was one handstand walk away from doing 7 rounds. And I tried to get into it too, and I just my shoulders are kind of shot. I didn't have any rest. Like I just tried to jump right into the plank to do my handstand walk and failed miserably. Um, I never busted my face though, and that's a big deal. You got a group of people around you and they're watching you do this, which really, you know, again, that kind of goes back. Like I feel terrible because like I'm always just in the way, and then you feel kind of self-conscious because you're like, I mean, come on, man. Like like when do you see people doing handstand walks in a gym? That's that kind of stuff. That's like if you're not good at it, I'm just, bro, just get out. Just get. No, I'm kidding. Uh, but seriously, this poor lady right here, man, bless her heart, she had to watch me go through like a whole bunch of like 3 or 4 rounds, and she's probably like, "Ah, I just want to get to the medicine balls," and I'm like, I'm so sorry. Um, but yeah, could definitely do better on the plank. So this is round 5 here. I hopped into the handstand walk pretty quick on that one too. Like I didn't want to just drag around, and I knew like I was pretty determined to get to 7. I'm okay with 6. 6 plus, almost 7. But again, going back and watching this too, I could have definitely locked out my arms a little bit more on the push-ups. Like if I was judging this, definitely be a no rep. So yeah, I did 6 times 25. I can't do math. 25, 50, 75, 100, 125. I did 150 reps of no reps. So get your bum down, son. Get your bum down. Get your bum down. Chris Bumstead, get your bum down. Uh, Here we go. Round 6 on my handstand walks. So yeah, you can see my feet starting to dangle over my head a little bit more on those, which, again, I'm not gonna say it's customary technique because it's definitely not. I don't know what customary technique is on a handstand walk. I'm sorry. I can't help you there. That sounds terrible. But if you notice, I got a new 10 Fitness shirt on. Yeah, get that bad boy for free. Thank you, Glory Stories. I'm gonna talk about 10 Fitness real quick too here in Jonesboro. Guys, if you're looking for a premier gym to go to in this area that's clean, got good people, that's got absolutely everything anybody could possibly ever want when it comes to any kind of fitness regimen, this is the place for you. I love this gym. I adore this gym. This gym is, since I've been doing this, has been so kind to me and just like having a camera out and just having some of this, film setup stuff just out on the floor, I can't thank them enough for just, allowing me the opportunity to do this kind of stuff in their facility, especially during busy hours too, So like that's a big deal and it goes a long way. And I just thank you guys so much for that. Incredible gym, incredible people, and I look forward to working with them in the future. But this is my last round. I'm trying to crank this thing out. I think I slow down a little bit at some point. Yeah, this is round 6 right here. Round 6? Round 6. I think it's round 6. I don't know. Round 6, yeah. But we're going to knock this last little bit of front planks out. And yeah, this is the last little bit. Behind up, way too high. If an infant can crawl under you, you're not doing it right. Gotta lower them hips down, no matter how bad it hurts. And how do I lower my hips down in this situation? Change the angle in your elbow. You can see it's at an obtuse angle, which is more than 90 degrees. So you just lean your shoulders forward and bend at the tricep to the elbow a little bit more, and that'll keep them hips down some. Also, it makes your tricep look pretty juicy too. Everybody likes big arms. I don't care about big arms. I'm lying. I like big arms. But yeah, I try to get into my handstand walks right here. Okay, and I'm down. Appreciate you guys watching. I'm gonna try to do one more attempt, even though it's past the 30-minute mark. But Glory Stories episode 3, August 2nd. Will air August 2nd with special guest Larry Perrin, NSR LP. So if you want a cool story, check that out. I appreciate you guys following this. It's been a fun ride so far. It's gonna get better, and we'll catch y'all later. Deuces.